Welcome to the channel all about economic board games. Today I'm bringing you an overview of Ride the Rails. I'll be bringing you guys a run through next week as well on this one. So we've got the designer there and we've got the artist just below, and this is published by these guys at the top. And in this one we will be taking our passengers and putting them on these satisfying journeys on the railway networks across the USA. This is a 3 to 5 player game. Says it takes about 60 minutes, which is about right, and it's that sort of lightweight, maybe touching on the medium complexity there. So here's the main board. It's rather large. You've got the USA, and you can see there's a bit of setup here already. Each player will have one of these boards to keep track of your shares, and there's a bit of a matrix at the bottom if you want to do a bit of maths as well. Looking at the board, I love how the key information is represented really well. So you've got the flow of a round here from A, where you're taking a share from one of these 6, and they'll be coming out in various colours from each round. So you're starting round 1 with an option of red or blue, then orange in round 2, yellows, purples and blacks, and they can come out in certain starting locations. So you'll take a share in reverse order. So this is the player order, greens first, then white and blue. But in the first round where you take a share, blue will be taken one first, and then B is where you'll be building those trains out for your railroad networks. So you can see in a 3-player game we're going to be taking up to 8 trains. So you can take a number of those. You don't have to place any if you want, and if you do go for one of these mountain hexes, you can see there's -1. So in a 3-player game you'd be able to place up to 7, and that's irrelevant of how many of these particular mountain ranges you go through. So if you go through 1, 2 or 3, it's still only a reduction of 1. Once you've placed those, and it gives you some description of various things you can do. So starting locations, you know, the colours match. You can only place those colour railroad companies on these, and you can only have a maximum of 1, and those represent the cities on the east coast there. You can see there's several. You can also place, you know, orange, yellow and black as a starting location on Chicago, but you can have as many railroad networks after that who can come and land on here, and you can see you're going to get a $2 bonus. Equally, there's some nice other bonuses out there. You can see $5 for coming to Kansas, and a couple of these other places that's a one-time bonus. And here this is just reminding you that you can only ever have up to 2 of your trains in one railroad on those locations on the east coast. You can't just go hogging your way all the way down here, so no one else can start on them. So that's just reminding you of that. So once you have placed those networks out, and I'll give you a demo in a minute, after that you're going to actually be moving these passengers. So you're going to be taking those passengers from a location, say, where are we here, and they might flow, you know, from this city to that city, depending on how you're trying to profit through dividends. So let's just rewind then. A, you take a share. Boom, blue takes a share. You're in second round, so they can take an orange, red or blue. They add this to here, then white goes, then green goes. That is a done. Over to B. Green will take, let's say, where are they? Green, they've got blue and red, so they can only take a mix and match of blue and red shares in this case. So they're going to maybe take 4 blue, and they're going to try and connect them up to an adjacent spot where the blues are. So maybe they want to start working up here a little bit. Maybe they want to start from a location here, or maybe they want to try and connect it up to somewhere else. Now you can have, remember the regulations, this is legal. You can have 2 trains in one spot, maximum there. Only 1 on these, which it reminds you of, and you can have as many as you want in terms of separate railroad companies on Chicago. So at least 1 of each of them there. And so let's say they place 4 blue out there. Maybe they don't want to place any red. Maybe they just want to place 1. It depends on what sort of connections you've got on the board, because the more you place out, the less there is in the pot. Because once these are exhausted, that's it. And when it comes back around to phase A in another round, if there's no shares there, no trains there to take, then you ain't going to add those trains to your collection of shares and bolster that up for when it comes to multiplying your dividends. So, you know, there's a lot of strategic play there as to how many trains you're going to place out, where you're going to connect them, how many cities you're going to connect them up to. So each player will place those out. You will then, let me think if there's anything I missed there. So you got reds who've started here, they've kind of gone to this city, they've come down here to take advantage of some of these. You can see I've already exhausted some passengers already here. You've got oranges you've got in the mix, and they've come from this city up here, and blues. So a little bit of a network already being established, and there is also a bonus at the top here for getting from west to east, east to west, and if you manage to connect that up on on a city at the top here, you can see that represents a city, you're going to get $12 for doing so, or $8 if they just meet anywhere else. And that's basically getting a connection from one of these multicolored sites here on the east all the way over somehow to one of these 4 black and purple locations. So in C then, I'll give you a demo of how the passengers are going to move. So starting with green, then white, then blue. Green might be based in, well, what shares have they got? They got blue and red, so they're trying to maximise their dividends on those. So let's start off with maybe this passenger here. And they're going to go, right, we're going to go 1 link here. That's 1, and they're going to go, what are they in, blue and red, 2 here. So that would be 2 movement on the blue. In this calculator, you go up 2 on the blue, and you move this white hex 2 as well, which will make sense in a sec. So they've gone, yep, over to there, 1, 2. They're then going to come down, where should we go? On the reds they're invested in. So maybe they want to go 1 to here, 2 to here, 3, 4. So even though there's no passengers there, that's fine. They're still travelling this network to that city. So red has gone at 4 as well. You then move this at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So every time you move one of these, you move this up as well. So that is representing then that they have gone to 7 cities. So I believe we started in Pittsburgh. So we went 1, 2, we went 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's why it's always +1. So you would then get paid out dividends. So the players whose go it is will get 7 money just for themselves. So that goes back, and all the money is represented round the track here. And if you do ever get to the big bucks and you get to 2, 3, 4, $700, that's all represented there as well. And then, interestingly, you get to do the shares. So whoever's got a red share, however many you've got, so if you've got 2 red shares, you're going to get $4 for each one of those, and that's all players. You then pay out the blue shares. So again, whoever's got blue shares, 2 times however many shares you've got. Add that on, reset this calculator, and then you go to the next player who's going to move one of these passengers and try and eke out the most profit. Now, you can go through other players' colours. So let's say, where are we? This passenger here wants to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though they may not have ownership of the Orange Railroad Company, they want to try and increase this hex to get the most links possible. So they want to oust some money there. So there's a lot of things to think about as to which links you're going to take and where you're going to take those passengers. Once everyone's done those passengers, you've end the round, you move up this one, a new railroad company comes into play, and it says the conditions of where they can start, and you will change the start and player order based on whoever has the fewest money on the outside track goes first, working your way down. And that is it, folks. You keep going until the end of the 6th round. Whoever has the most money on the outside is the winner of Ride the Rails. Enjoy, folks.